We always go right to what we need to do with our players. That's what we're always thinking. What do we have to get our guys to do to succeed? But before we kind of go that direction at Boise State, we start taking a hard look at ourselves. And so we've studied this. Coach, this comes from me, from coaches I've been with, from the coaches that are on our staff, and continually try to tweak this. What do we need to do to become an elite coach? It starts with us, not our players. So we've kind of come up with a top 10 list in some order. You know, it's hard to say, okay, this is number 1, this is number 2, you get to number 4, and I'm going, man, that could almost be number 1. But I think it's very, very important that everything starts with us as coaches, and that's what we're going to do here today. So what are the top 10 qualities of an elite coach at Boise State? To us, the number 1 thing is starts with integrity. And I don't know if you guys can see this. We'll talk a little bit more about this. Now, the one thing about integrity or character that we'll get to later is, you know, kind of growing up and being in college and starting as a young coach, I really thought a guy was either a man of integrity or a man of character or not. But the more research and study that we've done on this, we've kind of learned that, hey, integrity or character is just made up of a set of behaviors. And if that's true, behaviors are choices. So we've kind of come up with these 7 behaviors, broke them down, and we define them, which we'll talk about later. And so the important point with that is that with our kids, coaches, yourself, it's not just how you are. It's not just how God made you. You can choose to be different and improve as a person. And I think each one of these behaviors that we have, I think if you look at them and you study them, which we'll talk about a little bit later because we talk to our players about this as well, each of us may say, that's an area of improvement that I need to concentrate on. Patience for me. Showing self-control. That's something right there that I try to pay tremendous attention to. So we start with really saying, hey, we need good guys here that are going to do the right thing for the right reason. Number 2, we're looking for guys that are on that quest for constant improvement. I always say this, hey, when we get this thing all figured out, if I ever get football all figured out and how to do this, I'm going to do something different. We're always trying to tweak it, whether it's our offense, defense, how we run our staff, how we run our team. Studying the heck out of this stuff. It's what brings us back, being creative. For us, we need to have this tremendous passion for not only football, but recruiting. As we all know, it's at least half the game for us. Number 3, I think this is a great one for coaches because we're so demanding. We're all such perfectionists. It's never good enough that we've got to be very careful that we're not bringing the kids down and the people around us down, that we're bringing them up, that we're instilling confidence. I'll tell you what, when we're hiring coaches, one of the things that I want to know, what's this guy's personality like? Does he have a sense of humor? Because I want to laugh and have a good time because we know this thing is not easy. I think if you study a lot of the great leaders in history, so many of those guys had that witty sense of humor that people just like to be around. I do. Those are the people that I'm looking for. Number 4, being a great teacher. And again, this might even be number 2. I don't know. I think it always starts with character and integrity. But we spend so much time trying to be this expert teacher. I can't tell you. We talk about it, and we talk about it, and we talk about it. And it was really an eye-opening experience for me 3 years ago when I became the head coach there. Because I've been the offensive coordinator and position coach forever. So I'm in my own little world doing my meetings and really trying to make my meeting as efficient as possible. But it wasn't until I got to go sit in everybody else's meeting that it hit me in the face to go, wow, this is how this staff can make a difference. Because some of our guys were expert teachers. There's no difference. The information and the clarity that they were getting things across with in that 45-minute, 50-minute meeting was unbelievable. And there were some other guys that definitely had some improvement to do. So what we try to do is take the best of everybody and even some negative things that weren't quite as good, and we continually talk about them and preach about them and try to become an expert teacher. I got a 4th grader, and I love to go to his class because I've never seen a teacher be able to control, have command of a class of fourth graders like my son's teacher. She's an expert teacher. I sit in there as much as I can and try to figure out what her deal is, how she has these. Every year she'll go, oh, I'm just blessed I get good kids. No, she gets about 28 of them, and it's her, and she's got these little guys dialed, and they're learning more than I've seen any little fourth graders learn. She's an expert teacher. And so we're continually trying to find a better way to teach these guys, because we all know we're on such a time crunch, but we'll spend a tremendous amount of time on becoming an expert teacher. 5 is poised. We tell our guys, you know, I love to watch TV and watch the other coaches on the sidelines act like, you know, not like they should. And we tell them, hey, you know, we get paid to be under control and be poised. And the thing that's so awesome about this game, it's so emotional. And I say sometimes that God put me on that blue grass field, that blue turf, to kind of challenge me in certain ways, to treat people like I need to when our emotions are running so high. So we continually think about, hey, being poised. When you're frustrated and it's all hitting the fan, that you can still be poised. That's an elite coach. Number 6, demanding. So we need to be positive. We need to be uplifting. We still need to be demanding. We're going to have high standards. We're not going to deviate. And we all know that sounds good on this PowerPoint. But we all have those guys, those good players, that are going to test you about every other day. Okay, you know, he's a few minutes late. Didn't quite get his assignment in. Issue here. They can just wear you down, and they start to wear your standards down. And we're not going to let that happen. Now, I think the important thing is we're going to hold them accountable, and we're also going to be very composed about it. I know sometimes you think about this demanding. When you say demanding, I'm going to be a demanding coach. You think about this kind of stern taskmaster, guys in people's face, this is how it is. That's not how we want to be. It doesn't have to be a big emotional event. It's just how it is. We'll hold them accountable, and eventually they're going to get it. We're going to either win them over or we're going to weed them out. I think as a coach, we need to be a self-starter. The one thing that I really think about is this low maintenance. If we got an assistant coach out there, and again, you learn so much when you kind of put some different shoes on, but I never thought about this. And I'm almost embarrassed sometimes when I call Coach Hawk up and apologize for me being me, because I was not one of those low-maintenance assistants. But those guys that can figure out things, take care of their players, become a better coach, and do a lot on their own, where they don't have to go to the head coach for everything, for direction, for this issue, for that issue, I think is a huge thing. So he's a self-starter, can figure things out. High output, low maintenance. That's an elite coach. That's an elite teacher. That's an elite leader. Work ethic. Well, I'm not telling you guys anything you don't already know. But the one thing that I really want to point out about here, there's no easy way around this. You got to blast right through it. We're going to work our tail off. But we also don't come from one of those schools that, hey, we're going to spend all of our time and sleep in the office. That's not our deal. We got smart guys, and we're going to be organized and figure this out, and we're going to put some time restrictions on some things and make some decisions so we can go home and stay fresh for this long season. And I know a lot of times it's a badge of honor to wear that, how hard we work, and we work 7 days a week, and they're long hours. But I think you got to work smarter, not harder. I want to be smarter than the guys we're playing. Organized. Simplify. No details too small. Again, getting back to this being an elite teacher, elite coach, our meeting rooms. I can't tell you how much time we spend talking about our meeting rooms. How our boards are situated, where the guys are looking, where you're standing as a teacher, where your computer is. All that matters. It all matters. And then the last thing is being a leader. Every guy, not just the head coach, not the offensive or defensive coordinator, every guy is a leader for your group that you're coaching. You need to have a vision, we believe, for what your group should look like. You're a role model. I think you got to be a great evaluator of talent. And when I say that, you got to find something that all your guys can do. You got to find a role for him. He can do something, I promise you. You need to find it and make that guy feel important. So those are our 10 characteristics of an elite coach, and I really believe it starts with us. If we're doing those things, all of a sudden our players get a lot better, trust me.